What's going on, everybody? Big happy 2024. We got the first interview of the year, and I've got a great guest on here with me. He put out his new single Stomp in 2023. We're already in the new year, which is great. Ben Gallagher joins me. Ben, welcome to the show. How you doing?
What's up, dude? Thanks for having me on, brother.
Hey, it's a pleasure, and it's even greater because I've got a fellow Yankee on here with me. He's from Pennsylvania originally. As you know, I'm from New Jersey, so it's always a great time having somebody from my territory on here.
I love it, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, you are having fun down in that Nashville snow at the moment. You got a lot of snow. What,
A
eight
lot
inches?
of snow and no roads are plowed.
A travesty. But what's not a travesty is your song Stomp. It is a rock and upbeat country song that came out last year. I wanted to know what the inspiration kind of thought process behind that whole song was because I know you were a co-writer on it.
Yeah, thanks, dude. We've been fired up about it. So, Stomp, there's a whole story behind it. It was actually formed from a guitar riff that I wrote several years ago. And I guess it just got lost in the shuffle of all the different riffs that then become songs and some don't become songs. And, and it came back to me and I was playing it. So I was like, oh, I'll just throw this up on Instagram. This was last year. And I just filmed it right here, dude, on my phone. And it took a life of its own. I mean, that thing took off. And all the comments was like, song title, what's the song name? And there was no song at the time. And this was on Instagram first. And so I called Neil Thrasher, who is one of the co producers of the song, and he's a big songwriter. A lot of songs that he's written, like "Fast Cars and Freedom," "There Goes My Life," "Try That in a Small Town," and a bunch of good songs, man. And I said, "Dude, we gotta write something to this. This thing is blowing up." So then we put it. I reposted the video, and it blew up again. And by that time, we had already went into the studio and cut it. And so right now, like that riff, I think is like over 20 million views across all social media. So it was a huge blessing for me in my career, man, to connect with, that many people just on a 15-second thing that turned into Stomp.
Hey, I mean,
So
the guitar riffs, they stand out. I mean, you could think of across all genres, there's all different kind of songs that just have that opening guitar riff that everybody knows, like "The Sweet Child of Mine."
totally, man. I mean, I feel like that's like a lost thing in country anymore. Like, I don't know, maybe these days, or like if you think back to like the old rock stuff, like as soon as you heard the guitar riff, you knew exactly what song it was.
Oh,
Like Sweet
sure.
Child of Mine, Sweet Home Alabama. I mean, you could go on, and all those songs is like it took 0.2 seconds to figure out, oh, I know exactly what that is. So I mean, I've always been a big riff guy, so it's cool that Stomp was born, from that.
Well, speaking of riffs and rhythm, we're trying to get into the rhythm of the new year. What does your 2024 look like for you? Because I'm sure you got a lot of fun stuff planned. I can imagine.
Yeah, man, we've been out a good amount. I mean, we've had 4 shows so far. In January, we're out for the rest of the month, and we'll be touring throughout, and some new music coming real soon. That's gonna be I think it's gonna surprise a lot of people in a good way.
All right, that's a good way to put it. You always want surprise.
I think it's going to be a surprise. So much of a surprise that I didn't even come up with the idea. Um, Neil Thrasher, who I was talking about, he's one of the my co-producers, and he had this wild idea, and he's like, "Man, just go with me here for a second and trust me," and I did, and we came up with some magic in the studio, man. So that's going to be released. I don't know exactly when, but I got a new song coming out that I think is going to surprise some folks, and we're fired up about it.
Hey, that's all we need to know. New music is a great thing. Playing shows is a great thing. If Ben's in your area, go see him play a show. Now, I want to ask you this next question because I always get a lot of fun responses. Uh, Now, you being a Pennsylvania guy, I know there's a lot of agriculture out there. There's cities like Philly and Pittsburgh. I mean, there's all different kind of jobs you can have. Now, if you weren't pursuing country music, what would you be doing?
Man, well, to be honest with you, I've always thought not to throw you a curveball on the question, but I've always thought like, man, if you had a plan B, then you're already setting yourself up for failure for your plan A.
That's the
So
mindset. You got to have it.
yeah, man. I mean, I started playing guitar when I was 6, and ever since I was a kid, like this is what I felt like. I mean, it was a gift, man. It was a God thing. I felt like this was what I was supposed to do from then on is sing country music, write, and play guitar. So like I'm not even kidding, man. It's like not one time was there like, well, if this doesn't work out, then I'll just go do this, because that's such a bad mental space to be in. And so much is mental, right?
Oh yeah.
And so it's like, man, there's never really been like there's never been another option. It's just what I do.
So were you the kid in high school that was forming these bands and playing at all the parties and stuff?
Yeah. And playing in open mics and stuff, but they wouldn't let you in a bar if you were just going in, obviously, if you're under 21. But if you were playing, then you could get in. So it's like,
hey, that's your in right there.
right?
I figured that out too. It's a fun lifestyle, and that's the perfect mentality you got to have. And I'm sure you want to carry those classic guitar riffs over into these big time venues. We got the Mother Church of Country Music. We got the Ryman. We've got the Circle over at the Opry. What are 3 dream venues that you would dream of playing one day? I said dream way too many times, but you get it.
Man, you said the Ryman. I've never played the Ryman. I mean, that's so legendary. I would say that would be one, right here in Nashville. And 2 probably would be, I mean, I know people say this, man, but it's true. I mean, the Gorge out in Washington, that would be badass. Yeah. And 3, probably, speaking of up north in Pennsylvania, probably the Giant Center, which is the arena in Hershey, Pennsylvania, which is not that far from where I'm from. And I grew up going to all the shows there, right? So I think that's like a little bit of hometown thing going on. That would definitely be a dream venue to play the Giant Center.
A good way to lure in the fans if you get that Hershey chocolate smell pumping out of the AC.
There it is. You've been to Hershey.
I have. Hershey Chocolate World. It's a dangerous place and a fun place at the same time because I eat too much chocolate.
No kidding.
Well, the Gorge out in Washington. I don't know if you're a golfer, but I've always seen there's like, I don't know if it's a driving range off the Gorge or there's like one golf mat where you could hit golf balls. I've always do that. I see so many people post it. Oh,
I didn't know that. I've never even been there personally. I mean, obviously you see pictures and stuff, but I've never seen it. But it looks unreal.
Mm-hmm. It looks like a true bucket list trip.
Yeah, no doubt. A lot of people say Red Rocks too. I mean, that's definitely. Yeah. I mean, anybody that plays on stage and plays music or performs live, I feel like, I mean, Red Rocks is like. I was going to say that, but it's like everybody says that, but there's a reason that everybody says that.
And it's true. It's built into the mountains, the rock.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool place. And, well, if anybody out there is in the area where Ben is playing a show, you be sure to go check him out. Go stream, stomp, and get ready for new music. Ben, it was a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, dude. Appreciate it.
I will see you guys next time. Go give Ben Gallagher a follow.